Hello, you have asked and we have listened, and we are finally releasing our very first merch campaign for Big Mood. It's the first time ever, and this particular design is a very limited time Valentine's Day design for the first 2 weeks of February. And for those of you listening and not looking at the video right now, it's the cutest design you'll ever see. It's like a little sweetheart with our Big Mood in the middle of it.
Heart, and it's like one of those like candied hearts, but it says Big Mood. It's super, super cute. This is honestly my favorite design.
Me too.
This is so cute, and the fact that it's limited too, I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to order everything of everything, because we even have mugs with the exact same design. There's like pullover, like crew necks.
Seriously, I'm jealous of what everyone else got, because we each only got to pick 2 items.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at everyone else's and I'm like, I gotta get that too.
I know, it's super cute, but like Nikki said, it's super limited. You can order this until Valentine's Day.
So if you want one, you better get one.
Yeah.
Or if if you want something for your girlfriend, for your mom, for your sister,
tell them.
Or for you. I mean, like, rock it, dude.
Yeah.
Rock it, dude. but get it while you can, because it's very limited. And if you want to check out all the different colors and designs, go to teespring.com/stores/Big Mood. There'll be a link in the description. Yeah. Check it out.
Check it out.
Get your mood on.
Get your mood on.
Hello. Welcome back to Big Mood.
Hi.
It's a mood.
Where do I even look at?
You could look at there or there. At all the beautiful faces out there.
Yeah.
Who do we have on today? I'm Nikki Limo.
I'm Julia Chow.
I'm Jess.
Sorry,
I'm Bose. Yeah, speaking of beautiful faces, look at Julia's.
Who's our guest today?
Dude,
Julia Chow.
I'm such a fan. I always look, Julia, I'm gonna blow you up for a minute. I always be looking at her. She got these big old eyes, these nice lips, perfect skin. Oh my God, I love Julia. She's so fine.
Insight into Bo's fantasies here.
Please tell me more so my ego
Luscious
grows.
lips.
I need to know.
Sensual nipples.
I literally look at Julia's pictures sometimes on Instagram and I'll be like, too beautiful, and I just scroll by.
I know. I get really upset sometimes. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I get angry.
you guys
I
are
shake my
aggressive.
phone. I shake my phone.
I just double tap it.
All of you guys
I
are
do.
so
Nice.
pretty, though. You guys are all pretty. What
No,
the hell?
I think you're beautiful, Julia.
You
but
are glowing.
You are here with us today, and we wanted you.
Welcome to our bedroom.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The Big Mood
I
bedroom.
love it. It's really cute. I love it a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We love you. Obviously.
Yeah.
Some people a little too much over here.
Yeah, I think we're just
Become
gonna
a fan
change
club
that.
over here.
I feel like Bose is like my number 1 fan. Well, maybe
Dude, yeah.
number 2, because I think the
Whoa.
number 1 fan is my boyfriend.
Nelson.
Just saying.
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think Nelson's your number 1 fan.
It's actually us together.
It's actually us.
Your number 2 is Bose, and your number 1 is Jess and Bose.
I love that. I love that.
We have a fan club you just don't even know about.
yeah.
I'm a Minion fan. I'm like, whatever Bose and Jess say, I will do. The presidents of the Julia fan club, I'll do it.
Number 3 is Nikki Limo, but in a Minion costume.
I don't know what they do.
That was pretty good, though.
Is that the noise?
I gave up before I even started. So today, Julia, so a lot of people out there watching, if they're familiar with you, familiar with you from JK News, a lot of people watched you kind of grow up and blossom into your own adult self online, like through the cameras. And I know that for a lot of people, you felt like everyone's little sister for a long time. Like David would always say that, and Joe and Bart from JK News. And when I was first introduced to the group, it was always like, oh, that's like our little sister. But then little sister grew up, and you've been posting like banging pictures. Like, she is coming into her own. I'm gonna just say
It's a Julia song.
You are sexy now. You are sexy as fuck. And the first couple times I was like, damn, where did this come from? She was hiding all that.
Yes, absolutely. I've been shocked in the last, what is it, like maybe 6 months to a year?
Like
I
a
feel
year.
like ever since you've been dating Nelson, you have gotten way sexier. And I don't know if
Glow
it's just
up.
being like you're happy in that relationship. He's making you more confident. You guys are probably having good sex. We're not going to get into it, but whatever's happening, like
get into it.
it's creating this beauty. It's coming out of you. Like, you're always beautiful, but you're always more cute. And now you're like on fire, girl.
She's fine.
Yeah.
And you're
She's
still
fine.
cute, but then you mastered the whole like cuteness and now you've leveled up into the sexy.
Thank you. Damn, my ego's growing too big right now. I don't think I can handle it. I feel like I'm shying away from it now. What the hell?
Like I'm gonna blush.
Yeah.
Well, we and everyone out there, we want some advice from you. I mean, I think all of us were at some point pretty awkward.
Yes.
No, just
I was definitely ugly duckling.
No, you were pretty hot. Shut up. Nikki and I were gone. And
Jess, you're hella fine, dude.
You guys have
You're
no
fucking
idea.
hot.
You have no idea how ugly duckling was. I have not
you
showed
always
you the
say
pictures.
that, but then you show us like old pictures of you, and we're like, where's the ugly part of the duckling?
Yeah, not at all. Jess
haven't
looks like
showed it
she
to
would
you.
bully me.
No!
But so did Nikki too in one of your pictures. Actually, George, can we throughout this, if we mention anything, can we put a picture of us up on the screen? A little throwback?
We'll give it to our editor. We gotta throw some photos
I
up.
shared a picture of me crying eating candy, and Bose was like, "You look like you could bully me."
Yeah, literally. I feel like
that girl crying and eating candy,
absolutely.
with her tummy out.
I want to see this photo. I want to see this photo.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Oh yeah, we'll throw some up. I'm actually very excited for that. But yeah, I think.
So how did you? Yeah, we want to know like what are your fucking secrets? How did you reach that inner glow up that then expanded to the outer? Do you feel like you were more cutesy and awkward about sexuality before and then changed, or did you not even notice the glow up?
I don't know. I feel like a part of me didn't really notice the glow up because I feel like it was a lot of things that were in my head for the most part. And I think growing up, I always kind of felt like I never wanted to be behind on a lot of things. So, and what I mean by that is like, behind on like talking about sex or behind on like anything that's like happening in the world, like any trend that's happening, I always feel like I'm behind on it, right? And I think because of that, I've started to just tell myself that it's like, oh, you're always behind. And so I think it was just like really detrimental to like how I thought about everything.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, exactly. And so then when I was what is it? When I keep thinking like, oh dude, you're being so awkward right now, like I was actually living the awkward life. So I was like, oh,
making it a reality.
Yeah. So I don't know how the glow up happened, but I think it's just as time went on, I just started feeling really good about myself.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me a story on the plane, like when we went to Tulum together. We went on a girls trip to Tulum over a year ago now.
Yeah,
It was
dude,
last
that was-
December.
Yeah.
Legit, I feel like that was the first time I actually talked to you, Nikki.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
We spent the whole plane ride next to each other.
Yeah.
And I got to hear a lot about like your high school Julia self. And from what we were relating on is that we were both fucking weirdos in high school. And that girl, I can't picture being sexy or
Wait,
sexual.
how long
no
was the
way.
flight to him?
It was over 5 hours.
Yeah,
5.5.
because that would really bum me out. Because let me just say, when I get on an airplane, I have set myself up to be alone for X amount of time. And then if I realize I'm sitting next to a friend and I have to talk for like 3, 4, 5 hours, I'd be like, fuck, any of y'all.
No, yeah.
Y'all remember when we went out that one time and I put my headphones in and I was like, I need to be alone for 20 minutes.
You don't have to talk. I was on the other aisle with Tiff and Gio, and we didn't talk the whole time.
Oh shit, really? Oh, okay.
Normally,
We just
I'm
chilled.
that. I even book Steve's seat away from me so I don't have to talk to him.
Yeah.
Don't tell him I said that. Don't tell him I said that. Don't tell him I said that.
Dude, on a plane, leave me alone.
I just like to like listen to my music and sleep. But I will say that because I never really got like to connect to Julia before, like we never went out to dinner. She was always somehow not in the other group stuff that we
aloof.
were. Yeah, and that I wasn't in charge of the invites. Okay, Julia, I promise you, I was just an attendee. But we never really got to like connect on that level. And so it was really cool to actually, and I was like pretty awake and not needing to unplug because we did a lot of unplugging in actual Tulum where we got to like just chill on the beach and relax. So on the flight home, getting to hear these stories. But I want you to tell it because just to give a picture to everybody out there of like the type of person you were in high school.
Yeah. Oh man. I feel like the person that I was in high school was definitely a lot more shy, but always wanted to engage with people just because I felt like I was never cool enough to have friends. That's legit what I thought in high school. So like whenever like somebody comes and like invites me to something, I'll be like, really? You want to hang out with me? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll definitely go. So like that's like legit high school Julia, where it was
Protect her.
I'm thankful for whoever wanted to be friends with me. Yeah, so that's how I viewed it.
Heart.
You know, it's interesting because like
She's like, be my friend, please.
Yeah, please be my friend. Sorry.
Please be my friend or I'll knock myself out. But so this is just something that I personally noticed. Like when I went on my first trip with like JK, like I can't believe you guys invited me to the Vegas trip. What the fuck?
Dude, Gina said the same thing.
Yeah.
Like even
we
in
all went different
retrospect.
years from each other. So Gina was the year right before me, and then I was next year, and I felt the same way. And then you were the next year. And
Yeah.
you felt,
Why are people so surprised when they get
I
invited?
don't know because also
it
you
seems
guys
like
are
a
like
clique, like you guys have been friends forever, and then I'm like, I'm in the group.
club. Yeah. Well, when we were in Vegas, and I remember this, like to me and Julia, when I first met you, it was on JK Party, and you're the host of JK Party.
Yeah.
Like you're cast, you're in front of the camera, and I knew you also were on news for a while too. You have like this massive following. And I noticed that when we went to Vegas, a lot of it was like not really cliquey, but I guess it's because like these people know each other the most. I noticed that the cast kind of sat at a specific table because we're literally talking to each other nonstop forever. And then the production crew kind of sat at a certain table because they're always talking to each other. And then Julia got her food and walked over. And she went to like the production table. And so I was like, oh, is Julia closer to that side? Like, did you ever like assert yourself into like certain groups? Like, because in my eyes, I'd be like, oh yeah, Julia probably would sit here with all of us. But you know, you sat over at cast, and I felt like I usually saw something similar to that happen.
Yeah. No, most definitely because I work with them a lot. I'm actually a lot more comfortable like sitting with them.
Yeah.
But like in terms of sitting with cast, I think for me, like I get along well, but then I don't think I 100% click just because our lives are just different. Like we grew up very differently, and then I also feel like our interests are very different too. So
like the anime kids are like all at one table, and then the like kids that like to say fuck a lot are at the other table.
Yeah, but also, you know, I'm not really at that stage of like I have a family, or like, you know, I'm trying to buy a house, or like,
okay, I get
that. You know, so to me it's like, oh, like those are like adult talking right now. Like I can't sit with the adults right now.
But see, and that's what I say too. Like I feel like I kind of see in you, like you see yourself in a certain way, and then you make that like a reality too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like somehow, in some point, like you've just gotten very confident in yourself, and you're like, I'm not gonna put myself in a bubble. I'm just gonna be.
Yeah.
Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't care what table or what group or where you are, where I am in your mind. I'm just me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sexy.
To be honest,
That's hot. It's hot. We like it.
With whatever glow up that you guys are witnessing, I would say it's probably thanks to you guys, just because I'm surrounded by you guys, and like you guys are trying
to compliment back on us.
It's on us.
Because
It's
I see you guys do so many things, and like I reflect, I was like, what am I doing in my life right now? I'm like, am I even like making the best out of my life? Like, am I using all the things that I have like to the best of its abilities? And so I just sit there and reflect. I'm like, you know, yeah, why do I have to stay in the state that I am? You know, like if I'm being a bum, why do I have to still be a bum? Like I don't have to be a bum anymore. Like I can like dress up and look pretty, or I can play with makeup, or you know, I can just do things I've always been interested in but always afraid to do.
I think that's interesting because I felt that way before too. It's like, oh, I'm always the one that's in kind of like tomboy clothes, or I'm always like just wearing t-shirts and jeans, and then so like when I try to be cute or pretty or whatever, it just feels so weird, and it's like, oh, you don't belong in that, so why are you even like why do you even put that on?
Because we're the stories that we tell ourselves. And so if you grew up being like, well, I'm the tomboy one, I'm the tomboy one, I'm the tomboy one, then you already like limit yourself. Like I wouldn't try that makeup or that clothes because that's not my type that I've decided that I was 10 years ago, you know? And then when I've seen it from you too, just experimenting with stuff that you don't normally experiment with, and it's done wonders. Like, I'm like, whoa, Jess, you're fucking hot.
Yeah. Thank you. I've noticed, like, for me personally, I'm taking it like a little bit slowly. Like I don't feel like I ever had like a massive glow up or anything, but it started like I dyed my hair blonde. I was like, you know, I've always been this brunette, very dark and brooding type of chick. And then so now I'm just kind of like, okay, let's try to lighten it up. So
Damn,
we
she
started
looked at me with
the
them
hair.
eyes. Stop.
So we started with the hair, and then slowly I've been like, so I'm still not like the one to wear a lot of dresses or like have a lot of jewelry and be like super feminine. But like I'm still wearing a lot of like long sleeves and pants, but I'm like making them like more girly.
Yeah.
So just like little things like that, and I think it's helping my confidence, even though I can't really fully like become this hot girl that I wish that I was. Like you see all these LA girls and you're just like, oh, I kind of wish I could do that, but I don't think it really fits me.
Dude, legit, when you first came to the company, I was like, oh, Jess is like my long lost sister. because I felt like we had like even though we were very different people, I do feel like we had certain things in common. Like just how we
like
thought.
The vibe.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, like I can vibe with Jess, but then I know that we didn't really hang out very much, but I was like, but that's how we are.
Yeah.
That's how we are.
Same. I was like, oh, you're depressed too? Cool.
Yeah.
Sick.
We're friends now.
The first time I saw Jess, I met her at a restaurant after we had a JK News shoot, she walked up with that bitchy face, and she like look
That
at
bitchy
that
bitch face?
that bitchy bitch face,
whole ass bitch.
She comes up and she's just like. And I was like, "You look like Mila Jovovich." You were saying that to you?
When I had the dark hair?
I did, yeah. And like she, like it was brooding, but it was like hot in that way that, like, you know how some guys, they're like, "I literally want you to crush my ball sack." Like that's how I felt. I grew balls, and I wanted Jess to step on my testicles. That's how I felt the first time I met you.
The first time I met you, you were so dry humored, but like because your delivery is so dry, and you're also very smart, like you're whip smart, and you had the like dark brunette hair. I was like, this is like one of those hot politicians.
Like
you're a hot politician.
Gabbard or what?
Yeah. I'm like you look like really good, but then like you're just like so knowledgeable and like intelligent that I'm like, you're a politician.
Nikki's like, God damn, where's the ballot?
Yeah, I'll vote.
How did this turn into let's vote for Jessica?
I love it.
I want to talk more about Julia.
I think that's a relatable thing for sure, because like you both went through. The first time I met Julia, can I be honest? I thought she owned JK because because you know, like I've been on YouTube for a while, but and I've heard of JK Films, but I didn't ever like watch it or know who owned it or anything like that. I've heard of them, and then when you guys reached out to me through a fellow YouTuber, because you were running the emails and then you were hosting the show. Like usually in the YouTube world, if it's your YouTube channel, you are hosting the show. So I thought that since you reached out and you hosted, it was your channel, and the other people were just like.
They were Julia's employees.
Yeah, I'm flattered. Damn. Wow.
Well, and I think it's really interesting for us to share what we thought of Julia first, because Julia talked about how she felt about herself. She's been like, oh, I felt like I wasn't cool or like something like that. And then here we are thinking like, we thought you owned the fucking channel. Well, the first time that I met Julia, I actually met JK through Smosh. And I have to say, guys, before I say this, don't get any ideas of like cast and stuff, because there's many people behind the scenes, in front of and behind the camera, who knows. But when I first met her, these two guys that I worked with were obsessed with Julia.
I know one of them.
Yeah, they literally thought she was the most beautiful woman in the world. And I remember one day somebody had said something. We were editing a video, and like somebody had said like, "Oh, cut that frame out," something. And like I think that they took it as like somebody said something mean about you. They really didn't, but one of the guys did, and he was like, "Hey, what do you mean? She's really cool." Like, and he just got like defensive about you. And like anytime you would post a picture, and so like this girl, like for me, I was like, oh, of course I thought you were really sweet, you were really cute, but it was interesting for me to see these two guys go nuts over like your innocence and like how sweet you were too.
You have a really
he was
strong
jealous of you being Julia's #1 fan. He wanted that spot.
Dude, he did. But yeah, like thinking about stuff like that, it's funny because Julia just like felt like, oh, I'm awkward, and these guys were like, this is the most beautiful woman in the world and I would die for her.
So when did the story start changing for you? Like when did you start like being like, oh, actually, I don't have to be in this box?
I think honestly, it started when I started working for JK. Yeah, because I think even during that time prior to joining them, my mentality was actually pretty closed off to a lot of the things. And I think for me, watching JK in general, was like, oh, I should really open my mind up to different things. And then as soon as I got into the company, I was like, wow, I can't believe that happened. I'm like, holy shit, I'm in a room full of my idols right now. Like legit, I was like feeling that way, and I was like, okay, don't fuck fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. Like, you're gonna be cool, man. You're gonna be cool. And so then as I started integrating into the company, I was like, oh, cool. Like, I love it. You know, we're like a family. We all kind of get along. We work together, right? And it's not even a bad workflow too. Like, how often can I say that I play games for work? Not very often. Right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So being around everybody in JK, I think really helped me open up a lot more and just be, I don't know, how do I say it? Just like try to explore new things that I never thought I would actually find myself doing. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, did you ever explore trying things like fun, funky socks?
Oh my
like
gosh.
bombas?
Oh my God.
yeah.
My feet are cold. What should I do
need
about
some
that?
bombas.
Help me.
Dude.
Help me. Don't y'all put this on WikiFeet?
Are you asking for it? Like, don't look at my butt.
Don't you? Don't.
I've seen that, and I think they have tabs on everybody.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. I just looked at your feet. I was like, watch out. Watch out. What can I cover my feet with?
Well, okay. Talking about a feet porn site, but bombas are the most comfortable socks in the history of feet. Did you know that?
Oh, my God.
They're made from super soft natural cotton, and every pair comes with arch support, a seamless toe, and a cushioned footbed that's comfy but not too thick. We have a very huge Bombas fan. It's Tiffany. She's not here, but she would tell you that she absolutely loves them. She's here. She's gonna come tell us.
So much. I'm not wearing them right now, but I love them so much. Please send me more.
I love how sultry that was too. Please send me more.
Please send me more. Bombas are what feet daydream about, guys.
Voted for by Feet as the best sock.
And for every Bombas purchase you make, they donate a pair to someone in need.
I love that.
But seriously though, because I don't know if everyone knows, but like the number one thing that people ask for, like for homeless donations, is socks.
Yeah.
People think of pants, they think of shirts all the time. They need socks.
They do. So you guys can try a pair. Buy your Bombas at bombas.com/mood and get 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/mood for 20% off. bombas.com/mood.
Woo. And well, you got your comfy socks on, kick up your feet and order some food.
Yeah,
Take
kick
care of
them
your
up
stomach.
and make sure you put it on a rolly chair so that while you're cooking, you can keep that foot up. But you should cook with HelloFresh. Let me tell you why. I'm waiting on my delivery right now. I've been waiting. I've literally been checking my email for that overnight shipment thing. It's like, your delivery will be in tomorrow. And then I don't have to go to the grocery store for the whole week. I get a big pack. So I have some for, I live on my own. So I make my dinner. I make the whole thing. I have something for dinner and then I have something for lunch the next day.
Yeah, it's great.
Meal preppers?
Yes.
Order it.
It changes your life.
Yes, you meal prep too, don't
yeah.
you? Oh my God, I love it. It's perfectly portioned. They don't waste anything. It makes cooking delicious. Regardless of your comfort in the kitchen, you'll have everything you need to get a wow-worthy dinner. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm reading this paper, but like, I believe it. It's true. It's so fire.
They have more 5-star recipes than any other meal kit, and you know that you're gonna get something delicious. Like, you get to know that beforehand.
And it's healthier, it's flexible. You can add extra meals to your weekly order, change the delivery days, food preferences, and you can skip a week if you're going out of town. One of my personal favorite recipes that I've tried, oh my God, it's so good. It's a chicken breast that is breaded on top and it's baked, so it's super healthy. And then it came with like a zucchini with like a garlic aioli.
Ooh,
Girl,
fancy.
yes, it was so good.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I know. I'm like
I didn't eat
salivating.
lunch today.
It was honestly so good. That recipe made me absolutely obsessed with HelloFresh.
Yeah, so get the most meal for your moolah. Go to HelloFresh.com/BigMood10 and use code BigMood10 for 10 free meals, including free shipping. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/BigMood10 and use code BigMood10 and get 10 free meals, including free shipping. So, Julia.
Yeah.
I have a question for Julia.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I don't know if this is presumptuous or if this is hurtful or anything, but we're talking about glow ups.
Ooh.
Yes.
So
Offend her.
I want to ask you. No, I don't. I
Just
never want to offend her. How did
okay.
you feel during the phase where you cut all your hair off? Because I know for a lot of girls, that's like a really very crazy thing. Like they'll be really excited about it and then they'll get reactions to it and then they'll feel like their entire femininity is lost or something like that. But you actually recut your hair several times. You kept it. You were like, no. I like
Dude,
this hairstyle.
I fucking loved it, man. See, here's the thing. When you cut your hair short, you have to be prepared for it. Like, you gotta want it. Like, if your hair is short and you don't want it, it's gonna be a miserable time. So, like, I've always wanted to try out a pixie cut just because I feel like the ladies who rock it look so badass.
Yeah.
They look so good. Yeah, but then and then there's a whole debate where guys are just like, oh no, but girls look good with like long hair. I'm like, fuck you.
It's not for you. It's not for you, dude.
Girls can rock any kind of haircut they want to rock.
Yeah,
all right?
and it's about like self-expression.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like if you want to be badass and you think that makes you feel badass, like that's how you makes you feel. It doesn't matter what the dudes feel out there.
Exactly.
That
so
shit took a lot of balls, though.
Yeah, no, I remember when you did that. I was like, damn, she's way more badass than I thought.
no, but I fucking loved it, dude. It was just like, ooh, I'm feeling good. I'm like, and shower time went down by
my
like 10
gosh.
minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Wait, 10
Saved a lot
minutes?
of water.
That's it? I feel like it would cut like an hour off of
Well,
my
I don't
time.
know. Like when I wash my hair, I just like to do it really quickly. Yeah. So I was just in the shower for like 5 minutes. Yeah.
But then you never had to straighten it or do anything out, like curl your hair. Never had to do anything
No,
after.
but like there were times where when I did have my short hair that I kind of missed curling my hair, but at the same time, like, no, that's just too much maintenance.
Yeah. How long did you have the short hair for?
Maybe for like about a year.
Yeah.
And you
that's
dyed
all.
it blue around the same time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a whole change.
Yeah, it was a complete
I was like,
change.
dang.
Yeah.
Dude,
loved it.
I feel like you guys had like I'm just nerdy awkward phase. I had an awkward to sexy transition, and it's a little different.
Go for it.
It's a little different. So I was like really like awkward and kind of like goth in high school. God, this is weird. I feel like I'm articulating this for the first time. So like y'all are getting it raw. I had such low self-esteem, but I had a really great body. I've always had
Seriously,
like a
dude.
pretty
Yeah.
good body. Like I've always had like I had tits, ass, and I was skinny. And so I hated myself a lot. So I would show a lot of skin and try to put on a lot of makeup. I always hated my face, but I tried to make my face look better, and I would always show skin because it made me feel like I was sexy. But it's because I didn't like my personality. I thought that I was just like a literal like waste of everything. And so I was like, I thought my only redeeming quality was my body. So when I was 18 and up, I dressed very scantily clad, lots and lots and lots of makeup. I'll have to get pictures for this.
Like goth makeup or like hot girl makeup?
Like hot girl makeup. Like I would wear blue contact lenses, or green contact lenses. Like I like tried to like really do it up. I gotta find some pictures of this. But I was so incredibly insecure and awkward. And I feel like for guys, they could just sense this insecurity off of me. Like, bro, if you were wearing way too much makeup, like and you also are awkward, like if you're super sexy and confident and you have on a lot of makeup, that's one thing. But if you're like hunched over and you can't even like walk straight and you fucking hate yourself,
It doesn't match.
it doesn't match at all. And so I was like desperate awkward, if that makes sense. It was like it was really weird now that I think about it. So I had to like, and I think with Julia, like we're asking like, when did it change? And when I started to try to think about that, it just kind of happened. I just started to like myself more, and it just like slowly happened. But I think the biggest change that I made was not focusing anymore on whether people liked me or not, just letting it be. And
because that's much sexier. I think that when you use the word sexy, people think, oh, a girl that's trying to get sexual attention. No, it's when you're like okay with your inner and you're like, I feel confident and that's when the sexy comes out, and you're not thinking about what does that person think? Are they looking at me? Like you're just like, I feel good about myself, and then that's sexy. I was awkward in a way where I was always awkward in high school. In the like, I was very overweight, and I was goth, and I had braces. And
can't picture it.
Can't picture it.
And
I've
then,
seen a picture. It was real. It was
it was
real.
very real.
One picture just flashed into my mind.
Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe I might have seen it on Instagram.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll refresh it.
I don't think you
Maybe.
saw this one.
Oh no, not that one.
I know. I sent it to my boyfriend, and he was like, Whoa!
And I had orange hair because I thought I would try to highlight my hair, but I couldn't afford to go to a hair salon. So I went to like the beauty school where they do it for free or whatever. And they like made my hair patchy orange. It was a wreck. And then I lost weight over the summer, like of 1 year going in from junior year to senior year. I lost weight, got the braces off. Boobs got bigger. I didn't know. And then,
Nice.
But I still felt like the same awkward. Everyone, no one has a crush on me. No one likes me. I used to crush on guys and get rejected so much that I was just like, nobody likes me. They all like my friend. And so then the next year, everyone got really nice to me. And I was just like, wow, guys got way nicer senior year. Like they're just nicer now. And my friends like, they're hitting on you. I was like, no. People don't hit on me. They never. They know they don't. That doesn't happen. And then when I moved to LA, I still was not comfortable with like my sexuality. I was very like, even in a relationship, having sex, we do like goo goo gaga voices. It was not sexy at all. Yeah, it was like baby talk. Like, I just want to sex. Like it was cringe.
Wow.
Like nasty. Like,
Did you only do missionary? That's what I'm picturing.
we did doggy style too, but
Okay.
I mean that was just
Not a lot
it
going on,
wasn't
though.
sexy though.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, hey, come here. It was like let me turn over now. It was fucking cringe, man. Oh God.
I'm picturing Nikki with like her boyfriend being like, we're just two little tiny babies.
Yes, and he would goo goo gaga back to me, and I'm like, and I remember going to acting class, and like I went to a conservatory program, and he was very about like, let's get you working right away, and he like all the roles that I was getting sent out for were hot girl roles, but it's like the inner didn't match the outer.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't know why they keep sending me out for these roles. Like, I wanted to go out for awkward neighbor girl that comes and is like,
Because
"Hey,
that's all
guys,"
you know.
because that's how I feel. Like, because
Yeah.
that's all I knew.
Yeah.
And then,
Too hot
but
for your
then
own good.
They like sent me out for like, hey, dude, want to go back to my place? Like hot girl cute stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. And my acting coach was like, where's the disconnect? Like, what the fuck is happening? Tell me about your, like, he's like, not to make it like creepy, but like, how do you have sex at home? Like, what is it with your
my
boyfriend?
God.
Like, and I told him, he's like, oh God. And he gave me affirmations like to do, like, you have to say, I'm a gorgeous, voluptuous woman in the mirror. And I fucking cried. He's like, say it right now. And I was like, I'm a gorgeous, voluptuous woman. Oh my God. He's like, oh God, no. And for a year, he would only give me sexy scenes to do in class. I cried every single time I went up because I'd be like, hey, and he'd be like, no, cut.
Oh my
cut the
God,
scene.
what
And I
a
was
geek.
like, and it was the scariest
Danny
thing.
went through sexy boot camp.
I did. Actually, that's what I was gonna say. That wasn't the boot camp, but I signed up for a pole dancing class, and it was a
that's
pole
hot.
dancing boot camp where it was 3 days a week, 3 hours a day for a month. And they taught me. I thought it was going to be like how to look sexy to guys, right? Because when I think sexy, or when I think like going out on auditions and being the sexy girl, it's like, how do I be sexually attractive? No, they fucking opened a door in me that was like sexually liberating in a sense that I was like, I fucking feel sexy. I don't give a fuck who's looking at me.
fine.
And I like
Shit, good
learned how to
tip.
like feel it in my body. And I was walking around the pole. The girl that walked into the first day of that class versus the girl that walked out of that last day, two separate women.
Oh,
then I
shit.
started booking roles on TV and
my
stuff.
gosh.
It was life changing. And sex got way better. Dumped that guy.
I went to a boot camp like that. I don't think it was 3 hours a day, 3 times a week or anything like that. I think I did 1 hour a day for like a few weeks or whatever. But just the few hours that I was there, it's like because you're with these women who are so confident in themselves, like and there is no men in there. It's like you guys all being sexual in front of each other.
Yeah.
It's like it's weird, but it works.
But you're all in your own world, and there's no judgment, and they learn you learn how to be comfortable with your own sexuality and like almost feeling the music in your own way, like without trying to look cool dancing. You're like feeling it.
It's almost like a meditation of like some sexual goddess or something. Like it's just like the fire comes into you and you're like, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly.
That's a good
I
tip
highly
for anybody.
recommend.
Do I need to go to pole?
We all should go to
I'm
pole.
down. I always want to try it.
let's all go.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God. Yeah, because actually, honestly, even now when I think about it, I think I would be awkward about something like that. it's possible that maybe something either needs to be unlocked or that maybe that is not personally how I feel sexy. I'm not sure. I'm open to it.
You just gotta get out of your head for
Yeah.
that. Yeah, because now that I think about it, I did do one pole dance class with my sister-in-law actually.
How was that?
It was cool,
Ooh.
but like I just remember the whole entire time I was like, "Fuck, I'm out of shape."
It's really hard.
I was like, I'm
It's
so out of
really
shape.
hard.
Oh yeah, I respect the athleticism that goes into
Yeah.
pole dancing. Holy
Absolutely.
balls! You
Yeah,
could be a
dude,
gymnast.
those biceps when they just grab the side of the bar like that, and suddenly they're just
or the girls that can hold on with just their thighs.
yeah,
No hands.
literally. Oh my god. Okay, this
was
is
too hard.
probably like so irrelevant. So guys, fun fact: I used to waitress at a strip club.
I did that for a little while too.
We both were Hooters girls too.
Oh, and that.
also what was okay? Wait, let me backtrack.
Yeah.
But so it's interesting you say that your sexiness came about with something external that was poured in, and not only something external, but you accepted that external thing that was poured into you. For mine, I worked at a place called the Melting Pot. It was a fondue restaurant, and I worked in the kitchen, and I was a dishwasher. Both. I did prep. I did nighttime kitchen. It was mostly just prepping salads and desserts. And then one day, because I have ADD, I was on Adderall, and I was like, I want to wash dishes. So I was the dishwasher and the kitchen girl, and I wanted more hours, and then like they wouldn't really give them to me. So I heard that at Hooters, the cooks made like $13 an hour or something crazy like that. And so I was like, I don't think it was 13, but it was way more than I was getting paid.
Yeah.
So I literally went 2 blocks over and I applied to Hooters. Do you remember the application? What it looked like at all?
I remember the process.
So
yeah.
the top of it was like Hooters girl, hostess, kitchen, and you just checked off a box. I checked off kitchen because that was the only experience that I had. And so my first interview went really great.
You don't need experience to be a Hooters girl.
But I don't know this. I had no serving experience. I go to my first interview, went great. They call me back, and in the second interview, you have to try on the uniform. And I was like, I'm applying for cook, and they were like, what? And that was at the top of my
and your
application.
ass. They were like,
Yeah, but it was my dumbass being like, no, I could never. I'm not a Hooters girl because in my eyes they were blonde, all American, beautiful women.
I mean, half
but
the
this
girls-
body. I didn't. I mean, like I. It's like I subconsciously knew. I don't know. It's fucking stupid.
Half the
That's
girls that
what
work
it
at Hooters are like 4s, and then half of them are 8s. So I mean, for sure you would have got in.
Also, plot twist, y'all. 3/4 of them are married, so calm it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my external saying like, no, you are hot, and I was like, oh, I am hot, and then I kind of forced myself into this role because of. Yeah, but now back to the pole dancing.
Yeah.
So I briefly worked when I was in Vegas, I worked at a TGI Fridays. I lost my job because I didn't ring up a soda. Somebody clearly didn't fucking like me. Yeah, that
sounds petty.
Yeah, that's what it is. Somebody didn't like me there, which is fine. So I lost my job over that, and my roommate at the time, who was a dancer, was like, "Oh, I can get you a job cocktailing at like one of my any of the clubs because strippers work at like multiple clubs." And so I was like, "Okay." I think my mom's just now finding out about this.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, but like mom,
Sorry.
on God, like literally, like no, I just was a cocktail waitress. Swear to God. But so my first day in there, this is just a random pole dancing story, and it's like changed my life. My first day in there, I didn't do it, but I walking around and they give you like a corset. There was a uniform for all the waitresses, and so I feel kind of hot. I got to wear like fishnets.
I feel like we live the same life. like this is exactly what I went through.
Wow.
So there was one girl I immediately became friends with that was like a dominatrix, and she was like not that hot, but when she would get on stage, she would put metal on and she would like dance and like do all this crazy stuff. I was like, wow, she's so cool. And then like there was like a silence because like girls get to pick their songs and go up. And like then this song starts playing and it's like very like triumphant, and then like everyone starts gathering around the stage, and I'm like, what is happening? And everyone starts gathering around, and then this 6'3" blonde woman that with the longest hair ever just walks out, and the beginning of I Like Big Butts starts playing, and it's like that dun, 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 dun. And she's like walking up to the pole, and everyone's like, ah, and just throwing money. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Okay, like little did I know, a week later I'd watch Asa Akira shoot underwear out of her vagina on stage. Okay, but fast forward back to this woman. So she's like walking up to the stage all hot, and I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? Everyone's going wild, and she starts climbing the pole, and there's a second pole. The building was 2 stories. She climbed the pole all the way to the top, and like there was one point where like just with her thighs she was like moving up the pole, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And she gets to the top, and it's right when he goes, I like big butts, and she just drops down the pole, and everyone starts throwing money.
That is a performance.
It was a fucking performance.
Wow.
And I looked at that and I was like, I literally need to be this woman. But I never did it. Like I'd never seen anything like that again for the rest of my life. And like she was spinning as she came down, like with her thighs.
Yeah.
And she was huge. I love her, and
They're
I
like
miss
magicians,
her.
aren't they?
I literally miss her. That was just a random pole
Wait,
story.
so you never took a pole dancing class after seeing
no,
that?
Dude, we all gotta do
I
it.
love that.
No,
I love that.
Sorry, I just told that story. It's impacted me so much. I
Yeah.
still think about you, girl.
It's inspiring.
That shit was crazy. Get your bag. Get your bag. I can't believe you worked at one too.
Yeah, I worked at one in Austin.
Really? This
Yeah.
one was in Vegas, and it was crazy.
I don't think the one in Austin was that crazy, but
Yeah.
I think we had that. You know that Farrah Abrams girl, the teen mom or whatever. Like I think
Yes.
she went through there for a little while. She was like a resident
Really?
stripper there or something.
You can have a residency as a dancer?
I kind of feel like if you have a brand deal or something, you can. But
Well, that's it, guys. We need to do a class and then get a residency at a strip club. Come out and see us, the Big Mood Girls. The Big Mood Girls at Little D's.
yeah, I mean, so definitely like being
Big mood, little D's.
being a stripper, probably not like the thing you need to shoot for in life.
Okay.
No hate to strippers, but like taking a stripper pole class, I mean, that is athletic. It is dance. It is a lot of other things, and I think it's very helpful.
Or just seeing, it sounds crazy, but I don't know, there's a number of different ways, but seeing another woman feel confidently sexy is inspiring.
And getting out of your comfort zone. I think that was the biggest thing for me, because I was always like, oh, I'm just not that way. I'm not sexual. I don't like sexual attention, so like I'm just not that. So getting out of the comfort zone and stop telling myself that story was the biggest breakthrough for me.
And you know what's crazy? I feel like your clothes have a big big
they do.
Impact on expression.
I think so.
I think so too, and sometimes it's hard to know what that expression is, but Stitch Fix makes it really easy for you to fill out a survey and find your personal style, and then they assign you to a stylist that will then pick clothes out for you to match that style. How easy is that? You basically just try to describe your style in one word: simple, sophisticated, adventurous. And then when it comes to shopping for clothes, most of us are amateurs, but then with Stitch Fix you get a professional to handle it. A stylist does all the work for you, and they deliver your favorite clothing, shoes, and accessories, including brands you know and love, as well as exclusive styles you won't find anywhere else. And you complete your style profile, and the expert will send you a handpicked box of items based on your style. There's no subscription required. You can pick between automatic shipments, or you can get new pieces on demand. And shipping and returns are always free. Plus, the $20 styling fee is automatically applied towards anything you keep from your box. So you're basically getting $20 off. I got my box, and I was kind of nervous because I feel like it's hard to nail my style,
same.
especially
if you don't know exactly what your style is yet. And I was actually shocked. I saved everything. Like I ended up keeping everything from my box because I liked everything so much. It had a variety of colors. They looked good with my skin tone. I have this jacket that I've been wearing every single day.
Yeah, I've seen you wear it 4 times.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I love
okay,
it.
Stitch Fix.
I love it. I never would have picked it too. Like a lot of those items I would not go into a store and know to pick, but that's why you have a stylist picking it for you. So to get started today, you can go to stitchfix.com/mood and get an extra 25% off when you keep everything in your box. That's stitchfix.com/mood, stitchfix.com/mood.
And you know what, guys? In 2020, we're going to raise those titties up loud and proud.
Tits up.
And
Let
we're
your
going to
tits
do it
glow up.
comfortably. No crazy wires, no intense stiffness, because we're using Third Love bras.
I love Third Love.
Oh, we love Third Love.
I like your boobs
Times.
in Third Love. they
thank
always look
you.
so comfy. Like I just want to squish them.
You have squeezed them before.
I have squished them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like y'all have seen it before where we're sitting on the show.
You missed out.
Where was I?
You can join in if you want.
That's third love.
It's good.
Thumbnail.
It feels
Thumbnail.
really nice. That feels really
No
nice.
padding.
That feels really nice. Wow, Nikki, you got some great boobs.
It's third love.
It gets and I only have one third love bra, and mine is black. I get disappointed where I'm wearing a shirt where I need a beige bra. Please send me another bra.
We need more of them. Third love, please send more.
I have the kind that goes down. It has the sheer right here, and it makes
Tiff
me
has
just
it
feel a little
too. I could see it on her.
sexy.
She's off camera.
Wow.
Tiff is showing us all of her boobs.
She just flashed us right now.
Yeah,
Oh my
she just
god,
did.
I can't
Are
stop
missing
looking.
out.
I'm waiting for it to happen again.
But I like the Fit Finder quiz because I didn't even know I was not wearing a bra that fit me before. Like I
Yes.
just thought, oh, this is how bras are. But you know how you can get that little space between the cups and your boob?
Yes.
Small boob problems. Yes.
I didn't know that wasn't supposed to happen. And then it like the straps would dig into my shoulder.
Yeah.
So the Fit Finder quiz thing that they have you do made it so that I actually got a bra that fit me, that fit my baby boobs. And it also I don't have that problem with the straps falling off. And they have half sizes too. So they have sizes for every breast shape, size, dimension that you can possibly think of.
And when I got mine, I filled out my fit quiz, and I didn't do it right. I did not really do it right. I got my bra, and it didn't really fit. But I decided, okay, they always say, let's try again. Then they ask you the most direct questions. Is it the straps? Is it the band? Is it the cup? Like you just say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And I was like, okay, let me try this. I sent it back, and within 48 hours, I had a brand new bra, and it was perfect. It was absolutely
It's amazing
perfect.
customer service.
Yeah, the customer service is absolutely great.
And when you did return that other bra that you did wrong, so Third Love donates all of their gently used returned bras to women in need, supporting charities in their local San Francisco Bay Area and across the United States.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
really
that.
sweet.
Yeah.
So Third Love knows where there's a perfect bra for everyone. So right now they're offering our listeners 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/bigmood now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/bigmood for 15% off today.
Yeah.
Get it.
Get sexy in a new bra.
How fitting with our strip club talk. I know. Put it on so you could take it off.
I'm still thinking about that woman. I love her.
Right? I've never even seen her, but your description, I feel like I know her and I am inspired.
Yeah, it's life changing. My dumbass just standing there with my tray, just watching this happen. I don't even think I moved. Like I literally do not think that I moved.
People are like, where are our drinks? Yeah. They're still waiting.
yes, that's literally what happened.
Julia.
Yes.
When did you when you first started embracing this new Julia? Did it feel weird to be out of your comfort zone, or how did that sort of infiltrate into your life and become you?
Damn. I honestly feel like it just literally had to come from within.
Yeah.
So I think when I was like feeling a lot happier and just like seeing all of you guys thrive, I'm just like, oh, I want to thrive like that too. Like I want to be in that position too. But then like I was fully aware that I wouldn't get there if I didn't try.
And now it's full circle because I'm like, look at Julia thriving. I want to thrive like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I still look to you guys. I'm like, damn, they're doing something in their lives right now. I was like, what am I doing?
Julia's like, they're doing something. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing it, and it's working.
Then
out
she
in my
finishes her cigar. She's like, I'm going to do something soon.
There's gotta be something to do.
But
That's my Julia voice.
yes.
Nailed it.
But I do feel like the mood definitely does make a big factor into like you trying to have a glow up, because I think for me it's just like I think I started becoming really happy when I felt like I found my soulmate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shout out to Nelson. Don't get a big head.
Are you gonna tell us much about him or your relationship status, like where you guys are at? Are you gonna get married?
We talked about marriage, so we're gonna get married sometime in the
How long have you guys been
future.
together now?
About 3 years now. Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
If my boy don't get down on one knee after 2.5, and we're coming up on it with 2.5, 2 years, 1 month, you got another 5 months. That's my voice.
I started dating you 2 years and 3 months ago. What are you gonna do? Keep wasting my time, Sonny.
Oh no!
like, bitch, you got 3 years till 30. You need to chill.
Wait, Julia, you're 30 now, right?
Oh, soon.
year.
Almost.
Oh, okay.
In
So you're
March.
gonna. Does anyone picture her being 30?
No.
I feel like you're still 24.
Dude, everyone looks young
I
as fuck
legit
here.
feel like I'm still 24.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes when people ask me for my age, I literally have to pause and be like, wait, how old am I?
Yeah.
And then I also feel like I'm 24 because I feel like I'm doing things when I should have done them when I was 24.
You feel
Or,
like you're
I
not
still
doing
do the
adult things?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not an adult. Like legit. So I had like 2 cousins that visited me from Texas, and they're like 9 and 11, and like we were having this debate whether I was a kid or I was an adult. I
You
told
were
them,
debating a child whether you were a child or an
yes,
adult.
hell yes, I need to defend that title.
Did
okay?
my God,
Did
I
they
remember-
win or did
Like,
you
how
win?
dare you call me the A word?
I would just say we had a tie. Okay.
I'm just imagining like an 8-year-old kid looking at Julie and he's like, so you like anime? So you're a kid. So you're a kid too. No, you are a kid.
You know what I love about kids is that 20 is old for them, so they always think I'm
Yeah.
like 20. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I'm very old. I'm 20.
Yeah.
They're, like when you say 30, they're like, that age doesn't even exist.
Yeah, they're like, where's your gray hair?
Yeah.
They're just trying to be smart about it. They're like, no, you're an adult. Like scientifically, you're an adult. And I was like, no, man, I'm a kid. I still live at home, guys. Come on. My
I still
parents
watch
feed me.
cartoons.
Yeah. I was like, I play games, so like, I'm a kid. Please.
Do you feel like is any of that like affecting your self-esteem at all, or do you think you don't even care about any of that stuff? Because I know there's a lot of societal pressures to like be an adult and like all of that. Do you feel anything about like still living at home with your parents or anything like that?
Not
Like
so
not
much.
not moving in with your boyfriend, or you know,
Oh.
like doing the things that like naturally you're supposed to be doing at like 30.
Right. I think like maybe Julia, that was like maybe 4 years ago, would probably think kind of like that. But I think for me, it's just like, well, it kind of makes sense. Stay at home, save up money. It's just save up money so that I can actually afford a house versus
Yeah.
trying to buy a house where I have no money and I'll be like more in debt than I need
Yeah.
to be.
Also,
so.
culturally, like you're first gen, right?
I don't see. That's the thing. I'm confused because I
Okay.
consider myself second gen because my parents moved to over here and then and then I.
Oh, you're the
consider them
first-
So you're
Yeah.
first gen of being born here.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm the
first
first gen of being
generation
born here.
American because they're just transplants.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how we would say it. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
They're just trans.
They're just transplants.
Yeah,
they're
just
not American. They're not true-blooded Americans.
Jess, how could you?
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
immigrated here.
Yeah, but no, I don't think like. Before, it used to kind of weirded me out a little bit, or at least after college and I had to move back home, I was like, damn, I feel like a failure because I didn't really establish myself to like find like a career where I could just like live right next to like my workplace. But it didn't make sense to me because like I have no money, so
No,
why would
yeah.
I move?
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people in our age, I guess, in their 30s are in a lot of debt too because they try to hurry up and adult super fast too. Like, if you're like not in a lot of debt and you're just like saving money and like doing things a different way, I think that's honestly better.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
college didn't used to cost as much as it does now. Like you
Yeah.
didn't used to have to get into that much loan debt when our parents were going to college. It wasn't like how it is for people now.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts when I hear how much my friends have to pay for student loans still.
Oh my God.
I'm, like,
Insane.
shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the other day, I found out that my mom pays for my older sibling to stay at home. And I was like, you pay them to stay at home, but you don't pay me when I'm living at home? And
It's a compliment, Julia.
I know. I
She's
was
like, you got your life together.
I know, but still, I was like, come on, Mom. Spend a little money on me.
So Christmas time, we all stayed at the same hotel on Christmas Eve
Yeah.
because we usually stay at my aunt's house, but now everybody's like grown up and got married and like there's way too many people to stay
Yeah.
at the place. So we stay at a hotel next to her house and we stayed at the Hyatt in Long Beach. And I booked Steve and I's hotel room and everything. Then I found out that my parents paid for my brother and his wife's hotel. And I was like, how are you?
They were like, you got money now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're an adult, you're married. And sometimes I feel like I'm playing dress up because I still feel the same way where I'm like, I'm not a full grown adult yet. And then
Exactly.
the mortgage lender calls and he's like, Miss Limo Green. Yeah. We want to talk to you about refinancing your home. And I'm like, oh shit, they're talking to me like I know shit. Yes, what do I, my credit score? Yes, let me forward that to you and I will get that to you, sir, person.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're also going to need a letter from your CPA. I'm like, yes, my CPA. Yes, I will get on that.
Dude, that's how I feel
Feels
like when I
like
try to
dress up.
send like my tax forms out to my tax guy. I'd be like, yeah, you do that. I don't know what you need me to do, but you do that. Just give me a number.
I always tried to, I don't know if I've said this before on here, but there was a YouTuber that said one time that he tries to be really grateful for everything that's going on because he'll try to see everything through his 18-year-old self's eyes. And so I did that. I had a regular day of like going into work. And when I was walking like up the staircase to get to work, because like I've said this before, y'all, I work in 90210. And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. The offices are like gorgeous. You see like all of these like businessy people walking in and out. And so as I was coming up the steps, I tried to see it as like my 18-year-old self because it's such a good reminder of like how far you've come, you know? So like the lines don't really get blurred. And like I walked up and it's almost like I was talking to my younger self, like, is this it? And it was like, yeah, this is it. This is what we do. And it, like little me was like, holy shit, this is what we do. And like there was like kind of like that nervousness when I see like, no, 18-year-old me was 10 fucking years ago. And just accepting like your adulthood and like getting that confidence and being proud of yourself, knowing how far you've come after 10 years. Like there was one day we were out, like we had all gone out for drinks and Nikki started talking about like, oh, that's where I used to waitress. And because I see current like successful Nikki, I cannot imagine her taking my order. I literally cannot do it. And for her, it probably just feels like it was a few years ago. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely not.
I still feel like that waitress girl, for sure. I can still see the anxiety attacks happening in the restaurant.
I'm like, yeah, like, oh my God, did I put their appetizer in?
Yeah.
Like, and I always try to remind myself like how far that stuff is in the past so that I'm always like so grateful and present for like this moment. I think that's also something that's really helped me be more confident and appreciative of like how far I've come, you know?
Totally.
Yeah, same.
Gets me like rock hard thinking about it.
I recently I don't know, put your boner away. So I think I've mentioned that I've kept a daily journal since I was 15. For me, it was really therapeutic when I was back a depressed, lonely kid, and then transitioned into a depressed, lonely adult. I kept a daily journal. No, not now. But like I've been a depressed, lonely adult in my adult life. But yeah, so I mean, I still struggle with depression. We'll get into that later. But anyway, the point is, one of the exercises that I did, I think it was from the book, The Artist's Way. I think it was from that book. But I wrote out in 2012, like who I hoped that I would be when I was 30. And I like wrote out like, I want to own property in LA. And like, it was like big, like I want a husband that loves me just as much as I love them. And they do these things and they're this way. And I wrote out all these things. And I remember writing those out. I didn't remember that I wrote it till I found it, but then it flashed me back to writing those out, feeling like I was writing the impossible down. I was just like, I guess I'll write down like what I
like it was so hard
in my dreams. Yeah, but I remember bawling, crying after writing those because I was like, these are impossible. I'm never gonna get these. And then I found that, and there was a blank page next to that, and I answered my previous self. It was from 2012. Like, did we get there? And I go, well, actually, we did get this one, and here's what he's like, and here's his name, and this. And then I was like, and yeah, we did actually buy property in Los Angeles. Here's where we live. This is our zip code, and it looks like this. And then like some of the things I didn't get, but I was like, but we're working on it. We're actually like pretty close to getting this thing. Yeah. And then I wrote a letter to my 40-year-old self, like, hey, I really hope we're here, and here. Did we get there? And I think, I guess I'll revisit that when I'm 40, but it was so humbling to like read back on that and look through the eyes of I was even older than 18. I think I was 24 or whatever. And I like looking through those eyes again I remember being in my studio apartment, not knowing how I was going to pay rent, having 89 cents in my bank account, choosing to feed my cats over myself and being like, I want to buy property in LA. And this is not going to happen.
Dreams are coming true, Nikki.
I saw on Twitter the other day, Lil Nas X had posted a video. He had posted a video and it was like, I took this exactly 1 year ago, January 9th, like something. And he walks in a frame and he's in his house eating a box of Little Caesars pizza and he's like, it's January 9th, 2018, Old Town Road just dropped, and I got 900 plays. And I just went up a bunch of followers, and he was like, I guess I'll revisit this in a year. And then he did his 1 year post a year later in his mansion wearing all white. Then he's like, this song has 1 billion plays or something. And it reminded me that so much can happen in just 1 year if you make it happen. And I mean, it happens like that. Like even you were like really depressed like a year ago.
I was,
you were like, just kill me.
Yeah.
And like, I feel, when I think about it, that was just a few months ago. But when I know like where you are now, Jess doesn't give a fuck. Like, she will kill you. Like she really does not give a fuck, and it happened just like that. And it happened because she wanted it to. And so much in your life can change in 1 year, and it will go by so fast. But you have to want it, and you have to make it happen.
Yes,
I really like this
that.
bougie mic hold too. Pinky up.
Pinky up.
This
That's
could
right.
happen for you. You could work in
SpongeBob.
90210.
I know, right? Also, like me with my little pedicure and my little just 1 year, y'all.
Negligee.
1 year, make it
Well, I
happen.
want to know, Julia,
Seductress. Yeah.
do you have any specific goals, or do you have anything that you're going to try to do in 2020, or what are your plans? I know your boyfriend has a little company that you guys are working on together.
Yeah. So
What
we
do-
want
what
to
do you-
make that grow. We want to make that grow, but in terms of the end goal for that, I'm not quite sure yet because we're still kind of talking about it. But we do want Stat Boost. Plug it in there, Stat Boost, to grow.
We're putting a link in the description too, so
Stat
check it out.
Boost.
Yeah, it's just for all you gamers out there if you guys game.
What's the idea behind it?
So the idea behind it is that he wanted to create a brand that would inspire people to be like the best versions of themselves. And it's just
I love that.
like in every game, or not in every game, but in some games where you can choose your character, how you look like, or like what kind of class you want to be. So like, do you want to be like in Magic, or do you just want to be like someone who just gets into like I don't know all the terms, but it's like when you get into like the physical fights, or like if you like handle guns or whatever, you get to choose, and like in those games you get to choose who you want to be, right? So essentially with this brand, he wants you to be able to like, hey, we're here to support you, in your life, and we're here to be like kind of an accessory that like, to kind of give you that push to doing
So like
the things you
not
wanna
only
do.
like when you're playing games and having fun, but like in real life,
In real
like
life,
get out and
too.
actually try to be the best version of yourself too. I
Yeah.
think that's a great message.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
he kind of wants to do that
That's
with Stat
dope.
Boost. Yeah, thanks. But yeah, no, I mean, I agree with Bozo. I mean, I feel like a lot can happen in a year, but you gotta want it.
Yeah.
You gotta want it, and so I think
And believe it.
Yes.
Believe that it can happen.
because there was a phase within JK where I think it was doing super duper well. Like I think it was a year of
Like
money.
2015.
Yeah,
or
it was a
2014,
year of
something like-
money, and I just remember like everybody was getting like hit up with brand deals and whatnot, and like some companies reach out to me, but every time I saw those things, I'm like, oh my god, like they really want me to work on this? Like, oh no, I can't
you
do
didn't
it.
see your own value.
Yeah, I didn't see my own value. So then like
Fear of success.
being afraid of that, like I never gave them a quote or a price. Like I never really responded to them because I was like, oh, I'm thankful that you think I'm somebody of value, but then I don't feel that, right? So then I felt like I missed out on a lot of opportunities that could have happened if I had just believed in myself.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And so like now, like when other brands reach out to me, I'm just like, fuck yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
Legit, because to me, I was like, well, what have I accomplished over these past years personally for me, like on a personal level and what I wanted to do. And I just felt like I didn't do as much as I could. And so,
But you learned from that.
I do.
Yeah.
And that's why like I'm trying to be as like proactive now, and I'm trying to like do things that I normally wouldn't do just to try them. And then if I don't like it, then at least I know because I tried.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It always like takes me aback when people are like won't even try something. They'll be like, well, I'm just not that, and I won't.
I'll never be good at that. And it's
Yes.
like, bitch, you
some
don't
people
know.
are naturally good at, like some I remember just recently people have been like, well, I'm not that organized, like you're really organized and I'm not. I'm like, bitch, this happened because I was so disorganized that I couldn't get my life together, and I was like, oh, I'm just not an organized person. And then one day I was like, wait, why can't I be? And then I just started watching tutorials on how to get more organized. And
Well, I'm not really a good singer. Like, can I just all of a sudden be a good
not
singer?
all of a sudden. You put in the work.
And also, anybody can learn how to sing like to an extent. Like the technique behind it is very interesting. Almost anyone can. And like you guys bring up such an interesting point that I just realized. If you set attainable goals for yourself, whether it be I want to be in the best shape of my life, or I want to own a condo, or I want to move to a new state and start over. you will never, the complete opposite of that will never happen. Does that make sense? Like, you will never sink any lower than you are. It's not like your house currently is going to burn down if you go for that. What's going to happen is maybe you may not hit the mark. Either you hit it or you hit just below the belt of what you want,
Aim for the moon, so if you miss, you hit the stars.
Yeah. Like, if you really want a condo, you're like, I want to own a condo in LA by the end of the year. You save and you save and you save, and maybe by the end of the year, you're $20,000 short of it. But what do you have now? $80,000 that you wouldn't have had if you hadn't set that goal. If you say, I want to be in the healthiest shape of my life, then either by the end of the year, you'll be in the healthiest shape or you'll be just below the belt. You have to set those goals in order to even start moving.
And then create habits that get you there, for sure.
And it will happen naturally. It's like very law of attraction.
It's weird too, because I've set so many goals too. And like, if I could see myself 10 years ago, I would never guess that I would be here, right? I don't even feel like I tried that hard, but just because I thought about certain things, they still came true. Like, I allowed myself to think like, oh, what could happen if I was in this girl group? Like, should I accept being in this girl group and being on camera? Should I accept doing these things? Like, I just think about it. And like, it just happens. And so
a good exercise to do if you're thinking that you're like, oh, I don't know, it's hard for me to believe that things could happen. Instead of putting that much pressure on yourself, saying things like, well, wouldn't it be nice if, fill in the blank, wouldn't it be nice if I could fit into my old clothes? Wouldn't it be nice if I could own a condo in LA? And then it allows your mind to dream and like actually picture it and start visualizing it rather than putting pressure like, okay, I gotta get there. Like, if that scares the shit out of you. And I think that's kind of what you were
one of the
doing.
biggest
like,
things
what
I
would it be
noticed, like
if I was doing that,
when I go back home, and I don't want to like talk trash about everyone back home, but there is a different kind of magic in LA. Like, when you move here, you kind of surround yourself with people who think differently. But when I go home, I notice a lot of people still think very negatively. So like, a lot of people are still like, oh, I could never do that, or I'm just stuck here, or this is just the way it is. Like, people
this
don't
is just the way it
they
is.
don't allow themselves to think greater than that. And I was like that when I first got here too. And I don't feel like I fit into the group that well because I still had that mentality. I was still kind of negative. I was still like, oh, well, it's just not like that. Like, that's just not possible.
Well,
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. It's safe
it's
because
safer to be
you're
that way.
protecting yourself from what you think might be failure.
Yeah. And then over the years, like, people around me slowly kind of beat that out of me. And they're like, no, these possibilities are realistic if you let them, come to you. So there's so many things that you can do for yourself if you just let go of like, oh, it's not possible.
Oh, for sure. I 100% agree
dude,
with that.
The universe is not going to get in your way. You are going to get in your way.
Only you.
Yeah, only you.
and the limitations you build for yourself. Yeah.
And even when a situation arises that's less than ideal, if you let that situation affect you for more than 48 hours, it's you.
Oh, yeah.
Really,
That's
truly.
true.
I heard something one time, and forgive me that I'm probably not articulating this well, but they said that when something bad happens, for the first 2 days it's a reaction, and then the month after it could become a depression, and then for a year after it's now a personality trait, and you have the power to stop that from happening. So it's all on you and the perception that you put on yourself and the world. And the best thing you can do is change that filter and like love yourself.
Yeah.
Create daily ways to do it.
Yeah. Loving yourself is definitely important. That's how I felt. Because
Gotta do it.
I know. I mean, even I feel like every year, whenever I try to set goals for myself, it's just more of like, this year I want to be more confident. And like every year it slowly builds up to that. And like, so to answer earlier, it's like, I just want to be more confident, be more comfortable in my own skin. Yeah. Because I mean, I don't know, for me, it's just like when I have somebody or like people that I really like around me, like I kind of want to perform and be the best version.
Well, there's a law of averages that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you're constantly spending time with people who are doing things and achieving things or like being the type of person you want to be, you're going to slowly become that whether you like it or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and vice versa. If the people are around you being toxic and sad and like negative, you're going to become toxic and sad and negative whether you like it or not.
Yeah. So that's why I attribute my glow up to all of you guys.
Aww.
Because you guys are around me all the time. And also, it's just like, it's only you that's the roadblock, right? Like, you are your own roadblock. And I feel like if there's things that you're not happy with in your life, you should definitely just be proactive in trying to change it. Because I think for the longest time, like in college especially, like I felt like I didn't really like my body very much. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't just to what I wanted, right? And I just remember like telling myself, I was like, well, the reason why it's not to how you want is because you're not working out those areas. So that it'll be like fit, right?
you're the one that put yourself here.
Exactly.
You are the reason why you're this.
So like I never really like harped on that so much because it's like, oh, I understand why my body's like this and it's because of this. And if I really want to change it, then I would do it. So are you going to do it or are you not going to do it? Yeah. So I just did it and I was like, cool. And I feel like, working out really does like help with the glow up because you're like, yeah, dude, I'm fucking feeling
It's
good.
simple, but it's not easy. You still have to put in the work. Thank you so much for being here, Julia. We loved having you.
Please have me back.
Anytime.
Happy back.
Anytime. And where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at xblueapples with the X and then the color blue apple and then a Z at the end. Not an S, a Z. Yeah, we're gonna go
She's
full
a Z
Asian
girl.
here. Yeah, and you can also find me on my YouTube too with the same name.
And the links will be in the description too if you want to check that out. Be sure to rate us on iTunes, do all that stuff, subscribe. We got a lot of cool shit coming out this year and I don't want you to miss it. So be sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and we love you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.